A very good morning to all of you all. Welcome to our second session of presentation skills. We will very quickly go through what we did yesterday, a very quick recap. Just the important points in the presentation skills. We said there are different types of presentation. We would not spend a lot of time on that. Then more important than that is how do we set up ourselves, how do we prepare ourselves for the presentation. We said there should be something called as a pre-presentation preparation. That is, even before you start preparing your presentation, it could be a PowerPoint presentation, it could be a video presentation, it could be a chart, or it could be anything for that matter. We should do a lot of pre-presentation preparation, pre-planning. Then we said how to prepare the presentation and how to deliver the presentation. Now today's session will be more on how to deliver the presentation. That is the facilitation skills. How to facilitate. I have the content ready. I have the presentation ready. How do I deliver it? Something about managing the presentation. All right, that is what we discussed yesterday. Then in the pre-presentation, we mentioned what are the points which we need to prepare in advance, or what are the points which we need to keep in mind before we even start making the presentation. So the points which we said yesterday was the topic itself, of course. We take it very lightly. No, we should not. We should carefully understand that the topic, going ahead and doing some research on the topic is very important. Making sure that you are very clear about the duration which has been offered to you, whether you got to finish that in 30 minutes, 45 minutes, is it a presentation of 2 hours, is it a whole day presentation? All these things you need to keep in mind, and only then you should start preparing your presentation. According to that, you will be able to collect the relevant data. If you know that your presentation is only for 10 minutes, you cannot carry a data which will be a huge data which will be covering the whole day. So you got to be careful. Most important point over here is the audience, as I said. Now when I say audience, we have discussed certain things in the audience. I will quickly recap. In the audience, we said we should also try to make sure get the information as close as possible as to how many participants are there in the workshop. What is the age limit? Then what is the literacy factor? And then one of the most important point in the audience part, as I said, is the audience participation and the orientation background. The orientation background. I gave you an example yesterday. It should not harm the sentiments of the participants. They are coming for some learning. They are coming for some knowledge sharing. They are coming to get some information from you. They will be happy, but if you touch or if you try to unknowingly hurt their sentiments, it will be a problem. It will be something which people may not like it. So that's something very important about the audience, which I said. Then we said, why do we need to, these are the questions we need to ask when we are preparing the presentation. Why do we need the presentation? Why would people listen to me? What would they want to listen? And one of the most important things is the expected outcome. You should know what is there after the presentation has happened. This is something which we discussed yesterday. And then we spoke about this very, very important point is that when you are preparing the presentation, something should be an icebreaker. If you go and look over here, this is what I'm talking about. Why people would listen to me, why people would listen to you as a presenter, because you should put some content over there which is an icebreaker. Okay. Now, later we said when you are making the presentation, the content presentation, if you see the third point over here, are you all able to see the slides? Are you all able to see the slides? Okay, let's go ahead. So I was saying that when you are presenting, you're listing your content, all the contents should be in points. Never use long sentences. Make it an interactive session. Make the points as much interactive as possible. That is what I mentioned, how to prepare the presentation. Then, while we are delivering the presentation, the facilitation skills as I mentioned, we need to keep a focus on something called as how to use the stage. Today I will be trying to display how to use the stage. Then the use of language. There are two things which we need to be sure or careful when we are using our language in presentation. We need to use positive language. We need to use persuasive language. Positive language and persuasive language. And in all the language which we are speaking, we should ensure that our language is finite. We should not use infinite words. So that was about the language. The third point is about the body language. I will also try to display something today about the body language. One of the important points what I mentioned is that never speak while you are writing something on the board, or when you are reading from the board. Make sure that you are not showing them the entire back. When you're talking to somebody, try to have a good eye contact. Right. Most of your body parts should be aligned with the person to whom you're speaking. As I said yesterday, if I'm speaking to you like this, it's great. This is okay, but this is wrong. This is bad. You should not do this. If I want to speak to you, I should turn around. At the most, if I want to refer something over here, and then I want to speak to you, that's absolutely fine. God has given me nice joints over here. The joint on my hip, please use them, turn around. If I'm sitting over here, I should not be talking to you like this. Wrong presentation skills. People will not be happy. You've got to turn around and speak. If you cannot turn around, at least turn this much and then talk to them. Most of your body should be inclined in line with the person to whom you're speaking. So that was something about the body language. Involving skills, ask questions, get them involved. It will help them to be awake. The other person will feel, oh, he is asking question to them, he may ask the question to me, so the person will be awake, alert. That's what you need. Then I said handling crisis. In the crowd, in the participants, there are always and always some people, those who are critics. The first thing or the first important point how to handle them is that don't take them as negative, take them as positive. Use them, utilize them. How to utilize them? If the critic is asking question again and again, trying to disturb you, trying to distract you, never ever get upset, never give it back to him the way he is doing it. Always appreciate. Oh, thank you so much for asking this question. That's a very, very valid point. Okay, now how to use this person? Use this person as if he is a part of your team. The moment he is asking a question, instead of you answering this question, ask somebody in the audience, okay, Mr. X is having a very important question. Did you hear this question? Can you repeat this question? Automatically the entire group is awake now. Oh my God, he's asking questions. Then ask another person, great, you've got the question. Can you try and answer what is his problem? What is his question? The other person will try it. He is happy because he's got the attention. He is feeling, wow, I got the attention. The others are happy because they are able to answer this critic's question. So what you're doing, you're just managing the show and everybody is active. So that is what I meant by handling crisis. And then one very important point, once we finish the presentation, give FAQs from your side. so that you save some time and they feel confident that these people are already ready for questions. They have already given me the set of questions. People may ask you questions, but then spend some time in identifying the questions. Give them the questions by default to them. I'll let them ask the questions. So these are some of the delivering the presentation, facilitation skills which we discussed. Okay, I came to know that the presentation was not mailed to you. I am so sorry about that. We will mail it to you. Now I will, because yesterday I had given you an assignment. If anybody has prepared a presentation, great. Otherwise, I will take you through a couple of presentations today just to share how the presentation should look and what all you should prepare. Any questions or any doubts at this point? Any questions or any doubts at this point? Okay, great. Now, let's start something very, very important over here. Okay, everyone is able to see me? Everyone is able to see me? Great, perfect. Now, let's start with, now when I said presentation, when you are preparing a presentation, all right, yesterday when I said your content is ready, you are ready with the content. Now, you have done a good homework, pre-presentation skills. You have collected the information. Your data is collected. Your data is tangible. You have a proof. You have a valid reason to use the data. Now, how to put that content in a presentation? It could be a board. It could be a PowerPoint presentation. It could be anything for that matter. How do you put it on the board? Couple of things. Like for example, this is my PowerPoint presentation, first page or first slide, or the consecutive slides. Yesterday I told you, whenever you are talking, please talk while facing to the client. This is the live example I'm giving you. Keep the display or the board on your left-hand side. I am not talking to you like this. Keep the board over here and write down a wrong position. This is the wrong position. No, you should be always talking like this. I am facing you all and I am also discussing this with you all. So, great. I am very sure you all have understood this. Now, how do I prepare? See, I am giving you two things. I am displaying the stage handling technique and I am also telling you how to prepare a slide of presentation. So of course we all know, very, very simple, in a slide when we prepare, this is the heading. This is the header. Okay, so now, anything great about it? No, nothing great about it. Everything what we are doing is all very simple. It's all common sense which we are using. Now you would have content over here. Now when I said content, the content should be always in bullets. You should be always in bullets. So I write down some content over here, some content over here, some content over here, some content over here. Okay. Now always make sure that your first slide, the starting of your presentation, the first slide is, okay, the first slide is your agenda. You should be able to tell them what is going to happen during this presentation, what all things should be covered. So your agenda, one point after the other point is or should be ready. I will give you a live example. I will show you what exactly it is. So your first slide should always start with an agenda, letting the participants know what are the things you are going to cover. So point A, point B, A, B, C, X, Y, Z, L, M, N, P, Q, R. These are the points which I'm covering today. Now, this is a starting point, a base laid down, a track, a route map is made. Now, very, very important point. On every slide, when you prepare, whether it is on the board or whether it is in a PowerPoint presentation, every slide which you prepare should have towards the bottom something called as a connector. I will display this to you in a live presentation which I'll be sharing with you all today. A connector. What is the connector? Connector is nothing but a connection between the current slide and the slide which is going to come the next. When I'm speaking, if you remember during our interview skills session, I said if the HR is asking you a question, there has to be a transition statement. His question is this, your answer is this. Before you give the actual answer, you should have a transition statement. The connector is the transition phrase, a transition hint. It is now telling me, it is giving me a hint, what is the next topic. I will share it with you live. I will tell you what exactly I mean to say. Now when I come to the next page, say for example, this is my next page. Here is my next page. So the next page will also have the heading I need to do one thing. This agenda of the first page, I will make it as a route map, or I would say a tree where exactly my presentation is. So this agenda, I will make it a mini agenda over here. A, B, C, X, Y, Z, L, M, N, P, Q, R. So I will highlight this portion that yes, I am on this ABC and we are discussing about ABC. So obviously my heading is ABC over here. I am discussing about it. So in the previous slide, the connector will tell me instead of this, I will write down ABC. So I know that my first slide is there. I have told them this is what we're going to discuss. The moment I go to the next slide, just before that, I am already knowing what is my next slide. And then I will have a good transition statement. The transition statement will be, okay, fine. If there is any questions or doubts about it, could you please ask about the agenda? Are you all okay with it? Everybody says, yes, fine. So what we do then? We tell them, okay, let us start and go to the next slide. Our next topic is ABC. So the next topic comes over here, ABC. Again, we have the content in points. And again, the connector says X, Y, Z. So again, on this second page, I will tell them, any questions, any doubts? They say, no, everything is fine. So we say, all right then, our next topic is X, Y, Z. So I am in complete control of what has happened in the past, previous slide. Here my mini agenda is showing I have completed these many slides. Here my connector is showing what is happening in the future. And my current slide is giving me the present. So I am completely in control of the presentation. So that is what exactly is one of the very important points in presentation skills. Now this is not only true as if you are a trainer. You could be handling your team. You could be giving a presentation to your boss. You could be giving a presentation to a good number of people. You may be a spokesperson for a company. You may be a spokesperson for a kind of a group. You should have this particular information very clear in your mind. I will share this something with you. Okay? Any questions or doubts over here? Anybody has any questions or any doubts? Okay.